Hello everyone, this is Bobbin Threadbare, and welcome back to The Witcher 3. You might recall that I got an invitation to a horse race last time, and guess what we're doing today?
Wondering if I could take part in the races.
If you've coined for the rider's fee and a steed of your own, why not? Decide quickly, please. There's a race about to begin.
These races. Tell me about them.
They're run as per Erasmus Vegelbud's dying wish. He came into his fortune by gambling and remained proud of the fact to the end.
Family doesn't mind having a racetrack right by their house?
But the house, his fortune, would not even be theirs had they not fulfilled Lord Erasmus's wish. He made it a condition.
Any special rules for the races?
They're as simple as Lord Erasmus was. 2 competitors, simultaneous start. First to complete a lap around the track wins.
I want a race.
Grand. Your name and the name of your steed.
Geralt of Rivia, on Roach.
Excellent. Your opponent, let me see. Seamus Holt, astride Athos.
Gotta admit, he's got a better horse name than mine.
Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
It's kind of interesting how the count up matches the countdown that appears on the screen.
That's it, Roach.
Also interesting is the fact that I am not allowed to gallop right now. I am fairly certain that's a bug, because at the moment I am in a race, and that normally involves galloping. Even so, I've decided to leave this in, first because it's a fairly interesting bug, and also because it lets you see just how much rubber banding there is regarding the competitor. Like, when you are cantering the whole way, the guy slowly makes some distance on you.
Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
Don't walk into the damn racetrack, dude. Yeah, you can see I reloaded, and now my ability to gallop is back. That's good. And yeah, so even though I was cantering before, my opponent only slowly gained space on me, and now that we are galloping, my opponent is only very slowly losing pace on me. And largely not even then. It's mostly the race is about watching your horse's stamina, making sure that you've maintained a certain amount of speed throughout.
Hear ye, hear ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over! The winner is Geralt of Rivia, riding Roach! Glory to the victor!
Doesn't seem like the final race.
Not bad, yet we shouldn't kid ourselves. The competition was hardly stiff. Shall I sign you up for another?
I'd like to race again.
Excellent, don't go anywhere, we'll start soon. Your opponent this time, Viscount Roma astride Caniculus. The Viscount races incognito, so I must ask for your discretion.
Why did you even tell me his name? Wouldn't have cared otherwise.
On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
Seriously, more people right into the racetrack as the guy is announcing its start? Right, anyway, like the races down south of the border, the the actual track that you race along is different each time, and with each race they get a bit longer and more complicated. Also, something to watch out for when you're racing like this is to avoid any sharp turns, because that automatically stops Roach from galloping. But I do have the DLC saddle, which gives Roach an incredible amount of stamina, which is what's made it useful both for the Velen races and now for the Novigrad races. That being said, looks like I've finally run out of stamina, at which point my opponent immediately catches up but stays slightly behind, allowing me time to resume the gallop and resume my slight rubber bandy lead over him.
Hear ye, hear ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over! The winner is Geralt of Rivia, riding Roach! Glory to the victor!
How many finals does this racetrack have?
Bravo! Congratulations, you won in style. Shall I sign you up for another?
Want to try again?
Gained an appetite, have we? Your opponent this time, Luke Vegelbud, young Lord Albert's cousin, atop succubus. He's the black sheep of the family, but he's not lost a race yet, so he's seen as something of a local champion.
Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
Finally, there's nobody getting in the way of the horse riders. And there's also a significant storm going on. I believe that is tied to the race, and wasn't just an unfortunate coincidence. And you can tell that my opponent is a little bit more difficult this time, because I actually had to spend a couple of seconds catching up to him. The horse races in this game are hilariously easy. The hardest part is just making sure that you're still on the track, and you can do that by casting an eye to the mini-map every once in a while and just making sure that you're following the colored line. As it is, this is a pretty interesting track, I will say. You know, I actually seem to have lost track of my competitor this time. I think he might have run into something, because otherwise the rubber banding would have kept him on pace with me. There were also a bunch of wolves a while back. I know I heard them howling. Also, this is a really long one.
Hear ye, hear ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over! The winner is Geralt of Rivia, riding Roach! Glory to the victor! Fantastic race! Congratulations! A grand victory!
Is there a land where I might find more of your kind?
Damn. I'm actually kind of surprised that he was enthusiastic that last time. Like he actually saw something interesting for once in his life. Also, I cannot sell bolts, as previously discussed, so I might as well drop them in this obscure corner of the map. My winnings for each of the races has been 160 gold.
Geralt of Rivia. Got it right.
What do you want?
To express my admiration on account of your victory. And here, brought you an invitation from the boss. He'd like to congratulate you personally. Farewell.
Interesting. From Carlo Vares. It appears that there's another kind of race going on. Hey, Roach, sorry to interrupt, but now that I think about it, I should probably go find a signpost instead. It's right over here. But yeah, my reward in each case was 160 gold, except for the last one, which gave me 80 for some reason. And then I also get a bit of horse riding kit, which is worth a pretty penny, but since that stuff does not scale in between playthroughs,
Unorthodox books, grimoires and tracts blaspheming the sacred flame especially.
that seems new.
How can I be?
But while I'm in the corner here,
Got some coin.
You've come to the right.
huh, didn't get that much this time. Now let's see what Cleaver has to say. Some sort of underground race here, maybe?
Thanks for the invite.
Congratulations. Quite the winner, the Vagel Buds. Luke's one hell of a prick, but I don't recall him ever losing before. And seeing as you outran him, you actually stand a chance at Palio. Make some real coin.
Palio? Never heard of it.
Fuck me, what a peasant. The Palio's a race held at night in the city streets. Used to be every district sponsored a competitor. Things are different now. You're gonna race jockeys put forward by Bedlam and Reuven, but my coin's on you.
Fine, I'll race.
Lovely, colour me thrilled. Just don't bloody let me down, 'cause I'm about to bet a small fortune on you. Go prepare. Drink some chamomile or whatever the fuck you do.
Alright, are we going straight to the race, or do we need to go walk over to the starting point first?
The Palio is above all a race of honour. The winner doesn't just win a reward, he earns our respect as well. So, take your positions and get the fuck going.
Faster.
I see. And I also see that I cannot gallop again.
The Palio is above all a race of honour. The winner doesn't just win a reward, he earns our respect as well. So, take your positions and get the fuck going.
Let's try this again. So, there are no real indicators this time, or no big arches, I should say. Just a bunch of torches paired up. So it's very important to watch your minimap for this one. Make sure you're going in the right direction, hitting all of the right waypoints. And if you do that, you can keep your distance. And apparently go through the rural streets outside of the city and not through the streets like Cleaver promised. I have to admit, I'm rather disappointed. The narrow streets would have made a vastly different racing situation as compared to other races. I mean, as it is, the only real difference we've got here is the fact that there are two racers chasing after me instead of one, and that's just not really that distinct. This guy's trying to catch up, so I just, block his path a bit. Something actual racers do during actual races, incidentally. Even so, I think they usually have a harder time of racing than I am in this game.
Cleaver had a good up for proving you. Congratulations.
Give us a kiss, Geralt.
No? Then I'll smooch that roach of yours. That were lovely.
And my pay?
Take it, you cheeky bastard. Never met a man who earned his coin fairer than you did today.
Temple Guard! Scatter!
We gotta get the fuck out of here. Thanks, Geralt.
That is a nice payday. 700 crowns. Oh, and the Temple Guard are not messing around, it sounds like.
This is scandalous! You kept us off the day! The fleet on my cart's rotting! Run on like that, you'll be put in the click before you hard bastards. Look, I'm a law-abiding citizen. Human ancestry, traceable through generations. Not a drop of it on the glove. Sure about that. Here's what the shame of it. Say best lie in the way.
That's interesting. Now that the witches are gone, they've apparently got a different focus. Anyway, speaking of different focus, it's about time I followed up on that whole Philippa thing that King Radovid wanted me to look into. Now, as it turns out, I've actually been to the ruins where her hideout is, or was, which makes getting back over there fairly simple. Man, it is still storming out there.
Commander, it's full of monsters and traps. Dragged out 4 wounded. There's near a dozen corpses still down there. I don't give a shit. We've orders to search this cave, and that's what we'll do. Witcher.
Oh, damn. That's not good.
Having trouble?
Nothing fucking but. One ploughing trouble after the other.
What's it to you? Who are you?
Geralt of Rivia. Witcher. Radovid sent me.
No, it's you. I've been waiting for you.
Word was you hadn't been able to get inside.
Till yesterday, when we found this. Doesn't look like much, but it's got power of some sort. Opens the entrance.
Good work. Saved me some time.
We're thrilled.
Think Philippa's still inside?
That we don't know. Only certain thing is she was there at some point.
Certain? How's that?
We've been after her since Lochmuin. Poking out her eyes weren't enough. Radovid should have gutted her there and then. As it is, she turned into an owl and fled. Flew across Kedwin and Redania, then tucked herself away here.
What can I expect to find inside?
Everything, anything. It's an old elven temple, the witch Isleheart turned into her hideout. Look at him. Fell into some magic trap, then monsters attacked him. Barely got out alive.
Any of your men still down there?
Dozen or so went in. They's all that came out. Rest are probably dead.
Time I saw her, Philippa's still in there.
Don't count on anyone going in to retrieve your corpse.
What do you reckon? Think you'll find
Not on your life.
some? He is a witcher.
Witcher or not, you're dead before you can say 2 prayers.
Beware, for you know neither the day.
This isn't the first ruin that Geralt's plumbed.
be some mechanism that opens this door.
Probably related to that tile we grabbed.
Missing one tile.
Oh, sure enough. But yeah, we've been in that other hole down here, the one that wasn't covered by a magical ward.
Perfect hideout. For an owl. Be a bit harder for me to move around.
Here's something. Or it looked like something anyway. I saw that little hand symbol pop up.
Portals. Great. The Chapters probably messed with them. Works. Who would have thunk? 8 portals. Make my stomach turn. What's Edge afraid? This is an owl feather.
But yeah, you can really tell that Geralt and the witch hunters are both enthusiastic about working together.
Workers. Might have expected as much. They love places like this.
I'm guessing the Neckers must have moved in more recently.
Damn. Inactive.
Yeah, here we go. Hand symbol. I believe.
Should work now.
There we go. Yeah.
Activate the portal.
Just throwing a little magical force.
Stay back. Not one step closer.
Sheathe that before you hurt yourself.
Wait. You that Witcher the king was supposed to send?
Guessed it. You should know by now how dangerous this place is. Ought to wait up above with the others.
Not a chance. Those cowards ran at the first whiff of monsters. I made a stiffer stuff. Besides, something big's set to happen here. I just know it. I learn what it is. Radovid will appreciate it. King will promote me. Maybe even give me a medal.
What's the big event that's supposed to happen?
Don't know the details, but I came across Philippa Eilhart's notes. Mentioned Ida Emian, Margarita Lo Antille, Francesca Finderbear, and Frangella Vigo. As I see it, they aim to meet here.
Think Philippa's still here?
Can't rightly know. Sure, we searched a few caverns, but hidden nooks abound. If someone wanted to hide in here, they could easily. Even if they weren't an owl.
Alright, let's get you out of here.
Told you already, no chance. Besides, the teleport's power cell. I broke it off. We've to wait till they come for us. Got no choice.
Nobody's gonna come for us. Give me the crystal, I'll get us out of here.
But the monsters?
I'll defend you.
What if you can't?
Be a good little hunter and give me the crystal.
I am a good little hunter. There you go.
I presume that he broke it off.
Letters?
I presume that he broke it off so that the monsters wouldn't follow him and not just as a random act of destruction. Because that is a supremely unhelpful random act of destruction.
Huh. Interesting. Philippa dumped some woman for Dijkstra.
Well, she also dumped Dijkstra for some woman, which is, to me, this makes me think that she used both of them as an excuse to go it alone.
Right. Now to activate it.
A little Ard should work for this. Sometimes Igni is called for instead, but it's always one of those two. Well, here are the monsters.
Must have been her laboratory.
Got me to a 10 charge, but sadly that's where it ends.
Another feather. Doubt Philippa had an aviary. These are signs of polymorphy. A tunnel. Wonder where it leads.
Philippa does love turning into owls.
Power cell.
She is, even within the books, she is uniquely good at turning into animals. And owls are one of her preferences. She uses it to get out of situations quite extensively, in fact. But yeah, that side trip was not a side trip at all. It was a side trip to get a very necessary power cell.
Gotta be the lowest level.
Yeah, we can actually see the floor from here. That being said, there's a lot of different ways to go from here. There is also this one little side cavern, according to the mini-map, with a couple of item containers around. Ooh. And a light. Oh, and a fire elemental.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have a sentry. Of course.
So yeah, in this case, unfortunately, Quen is uniquely useless. Ifrit has a circle of fire that just saps your health and immediately demolishes the shield. Just like that, it's gone. So, yeah, I happen to look around in the corners here. Just finding all the containers scattered around. Along with a couple spaces that don't quite exist on the mini-map. Obviously the direction we want to go is back up to the doorway that Ifrit was guarding. And this here, I believe, is a teleporter that'll take us back to where we started. There is also that other door on the left there. Might be where we came from? Or someplace we've already explored, I don't know.
Bed. Table, a few chairs. Modest, but a home nonetheless.
Until it got ransacked, anyway.
Agates. Kind Philippa always wore around her neck. Except, why are these covered in blood? She either fought someone, or used them in her experiments. Blood-stained surgical instruments. Philippa operated on someone here. Notes. Charred, almost completely. Can't read a thing.
I've been doing something about those eyes she lost.
A megascope. Scorched, covered in soot. Maybe one of the crystals survived. What's this? Aniseed and birch bark. Powerful disinfectant.
There's something.
Crystal from a megascope. Heavily chipped.
Sounds like that's the best we can expect from here. Philippa isn't just gone, she is long gone. What's this? It's got a little hand like it's supposed to be another portal, but doesn't seem to be a way to activate it. Anyway, this does lead us back to where we began, or at least back into the sequence of portals from whence we came. And looks like the one errant witch slayer is, or witch hunter, same difference, must have headed back by now, since he certainly wasn't where we left him. You know what? I think the other portal might have been a shortcut back to the top.
France through.
You should have gone after him.
Straight into some monster's jaws. Prefer to come up, inform you. Besides, he'll come back this way. He's got to. Ah, there he is now.
You're alive. Find anything?
Dust, dirt, and a megascope crystal.
Whatever the hell that is. But good chance is important. Hand it here, we'll see the king gets it.
Forgetting yourself. Save your orders for your men.
As you wish. Grab him!
Well, I did kind of see this coming, and I don't mind the result. But yeah, there's a good chance they would have just given it to Radovid, sure. But that probably would have cut me out of the commission. So no. Geralt is not just going to hand it over to them. Might have lied about it, but then he'd probably have been angry for a different reason at Geralt. Hard to say what they would have done then. Anyway, it's not much, but we might as well let Radovid know what we found.
This is the ship of His Majesty.
I want to see the king. It's about Philippa Eilhart.
If that's the case, come with me. But no sudden moves. Got my eye on you.
Witcher, any progress? Have you found Eilhart?
Yes and no, in that order.
Wasn't where your men said, but I did find signs of someone doing medical experiments there.
Oh, that's something.
Think Philippa tried to restore her eyesight.
Verily. Empty eye sockets suit her so much better. So, have you any proof?
Got this crystal.
If I'd wanted a shiny bauble, I would have gone to a jeweler. You were to bring me Eilhart.
This is a megascope crystal. The mages you keep in prison should be able to extract something from it.
Yes. Oh, at last. They might prove useful. Not exactly what I expected, but... Very well. You've earned your pay. Now forgive me. I've affairs to which I must attend.
When Radovid puts his arms up like that, you can see that the upper sleeves are billowing over an empty void out of which his arms come. I know this probably wasn't intentional, but it does seem on theme that, yes, in fact, Radovid is empty inside. Anyway, that's enough side business. It's about time we got back on track with the main plot. And that will mean going back to Priscilla to tell her about what we've learned about Dudu. I believe we've already told her about what's happened to Dandelion.
Take a gander.
You seen the new waitresses?
And Dudu seems to be the only one who knows what we can do about that next.
Back again, Rivian Trap.
Damn, dude.
Think I know how to free Dandelion. Got a plan, but we need Dudu. Gotta find him.
This plan? What is it?
Our Doppler friend will assume Menga's form. Order Dandelion moved to Oxenfurt. We can grab him on the way.
Brilliant. But how do you aim to find Dudu?
You're his friend. Any idea where he might be hiding?
With the Doppler, the question's never where, but as whom. In the past, facing trouble, he'd disappear, then reappear on the morrow with someone else. But this time he hasn't returned.
Known Dudu long?
I know this might sound strange, but I can't be sure. It seems he'd been circling me for some time in various forms, trying to attract my attention.
Can't blame him for making the effort.
Thank you. I failed to notice him at first. Then he decided to shoot the moon, assume Dandelion's form.
What tipped you off? How do you know it wasn't Dandelion? Dudu not much of a singer?
No. He simply spoke about something other than himself.
We need to convince Dudu to reveal himself. Any friends we could leave a message with, someone he trusts?
Dandelion? Irina Renard's troupe, that's all really. Not certain he was friendly with anyone else. Spent dawn till dusk with the troupe, on stage or in the crowd.
So he liked going to the mummings.
Yes, I'm actually surprised he didn't come to us after it all happened. He certainly could have counted on the Foxen's help.
So if these mummers are ready to help...
We need only mention Dudu. Irina and company are deeply indebted to him.
Dudu and the mummers, how'd they meet?
That was my doing. Some opening night. Maxim lay comatose in his wardrobe, drunk as an otter. I thought of Dudu. Hard to imagine a better actor than a Doppler.
And Dudu revealed himself to them just like that?
I didn't think it wise to tell anyone. But Dudu and Irina took to each other completely and right away. He fell so hopelessly in love with the theatre.
That he started performing with you?
Yeah. Now Irina feels terribly guilty. They let him put himself in danger. She can't forgive herself.
Maybe we could use a play. You know, work a message to Dudu into something. Lure him out of hiding that way.
Not a bad idea, but I doubt a few lines would suffice. Besides, do you really think Dudu whiles away his days attending mummings he knows by heart?
So what do you suggest?
We must write an entire new play. From scratch. Something grand. Something that will grab Dudu's attention. So most importantly, it must have a splendid title. It must be the talk of the town. If you wish, we can start on it right away.
Not sure I'm cut out to write a play. Maybe you're better off doing this on your own.
It's sure to go quicker if you help me. You'll see, we'll have a grand time together.
All right. Guess we can start writing the play.
Any ideas for the plot?
Actually, I was hoping...
The key is to convince Dudu that he can rely on you, and that we wish to free Dandelion. The message must be clear, though naturally woven into the play's dramaturgical essence, meaning we need an appropriate dramatic structure. Following along?
Not entirely.
Tough. You'll need to pick it up as we go along. There's no time to explain everything to you. Now to find the proper expressive form for our content. A gripping, contemporary story, that would be best. Perhaps about the condottieri of Povis. I know. Lorenzo Molla. A tale of a handsome but ruthless bandit, and the Doppler who manages to fool him. But now the Doppler must hide, and can only count on the help of his friend, who's a witcher, who in turn is prepared to do anything to save his no, better, his beloved. What do you think?
Sounds great.
Really think so? Lorenzo Molla. Yeah. Or perhaps not. Wait, I've got it! We shall stage a story of the Urchin of Erlenwald. Secret lovers, their betrothal, a curse, a cruel queen, bells sounding midnight.
But...
At which point he reveals his face. He's a monster, there to steal Princess Pavetta. They want him dead, but at that instant a witcher steps in. And everything ends splendidly. So it's settled, yeah? You wish to say something?
Will I get a say in any of this, or have you decided everything already?
Why are you cross? It's the nature of the creative process. We toss around ideas and choose the best ones.
Meaning yours.
Well, you must admit I'm better acquainted with the theatre. Naturally, you'll play a part in shaping this play. Contribute to the work as a whole. Dandelion will explain how it works later.
We need a good title. Venture to say that's more important than the story itself.
I've some ideas. Perhaps you can choose.
Gonna consider my opinion this time?
Of course. We're partners in this. I'm just in charge. I've two really good ones. The Doppler's Salvation and A Changeling Rescued or The Witch's Triumph. Which do you prefer?
The easy to remember one?
Let's go with the Doppler's Salvation. It's shorter, catchier. Just one problem. No Dopplers in that story. Just a princess and a cursed urchin.
Nothing simpler. We need merely swap the Doppler in for the urchin. The message, that's what's important. A witcher arrives and saves the Doppler. Got it?
All right. So it's a comedy.
I was thinking more along dramatic lines. But if you prefer something lighter... Listen, merely decide and I'll get to work.
You're right. A drama'd be better.
Very well. I must get to work. While you must pick a corner. Sit down, read silently, or just think. All right?
Fine, since you don't need help with the writing.
Geralt, wait. A rhyme for Witcher?
Did Itcher?
Ugh, just keep quiet.
You know that friend who's enthusiastic about their hobby and wants to include you, but
Done.
that's how you
I could
look?
make a small masterpiece of this had I a bit more time, but...
We're fresh out of that. The hidden message to Dudu. What did you weave in?
Hidden message?
You were gonna work something in, like come to the Kingfisher at dawn, or...
That wouldn't be in keeping with the tone of the play, not at all.
You wrote it to contact Dudu. That was the purpose. Fine. So how do you see this working?
I don't know. I was counting on recognizing him by his scar. Or just improvising. Shall we worry about that later? First, you must take the script to Madame Irina. Sure you know where to find her? The troupe performs in the butcher's yard off the main square.
Join us later. See ya.
Oh dear, looks like I've got some lines to remember. Now I could write these down, or I could just remember them for later. We'll see how it works out. Anyway, so in case you are unfamiliar with the word, a mummer is essentially a medieval word for entertainer. So it covers actors, but also a range of other professions.
This where Madame Irina's troupe performs?
Yeah, but you can only enter with a ticket. There's no performance now. Mamas are just rehearsing. Process is interesting to observe, though. So, want a ticket?
No performance. Said so yourself.
You can still get a ticket. What'll it be? Need a ticket?
Damn, that's an expensive ticket.
Yeah, one.
Here. Just stay out of sight, eh? Awful bashful, these mamas in rehearsal.
Never rains, does it? It pours.
As they say, a bard must be a quick talker, and the Witcher a quick stalker.
Whoa! What a killer!
Madame Marina, can we talk?
Geralt of Rivia. Dandelion's told us so much about you. Is he with you?
No, but I hope to bring him back soon. Here to talk about Dudu.
Let's speak in my quarters at the back of the theatre. We'll be undisturbed there.
Less chance of being overheard.
How can I help? We've not seen Dandelion or Dudu recently.
Dandelion's in trouble.
That much I guessed, though I am curious how serious it is. Did he seduce a powerful man's wife and go into hiding? Or did he write an offensive couplet about the priests of the eternal fire?
Worse. Lots. I'm gonna try to help him. Gotta contact Dudu first.
But he's disappeared as well.
Have a plan to lure him out of hiding, but I need your help. Can I count on you?
Naturally, but what can we possibly do?
I want to stage a play, something that'll really draw the crowds.
I see. And you hope it'll get Dudu's attention as well, draw him here. So it must be an entirely new play? And who will write it?
Priscilla, actually. She's done writing it. Tells the story of a witcher who rescues a Doppler from certain death.
Sounds interesting. I'll gladly have a glance. But first we must think about getting the word out and organizing some protection. Ushers. Would you mind tending to these matters?
Think we need ushers? A play about Dopplers could be controversial, but are ushers absolutely necessary?
Can't be sure if you've attended many performances, but Novigrad crowds can be particularly difficult.
Rotten apples, tomatoes, eggs, that sort of thing?
Axes, butcher's knives, and bricks, actually.
All right. Know anyone appropriate?
Try the docks, perhaps. You're bound to find some men willing to do any work for a few crowns.
How can I help you spread the word about the premiere?
Well, we'd like all the city to hear about it, so we must clearly talk to the Puffins.
Who are the Puffins?
Street artists. Get them to announce the premiere, and even the muscles on the harbour piling will hear about it.
Where'll I find them?
They did occupy some rooms in the Bits in a townhouse, but I can't be sure they're still there. I've not seen them in the streets lately. They may very well have hung up their body hose.
See if I can find them, and if they'll work for us. Thanks for helping. I'll come back once I've found some ushers.
See you then.
Looks like the ushers are required, but the publicists are not.
You'll leave the man to strap in the mustard working.
Yeah, I'm working with these actors. I feel a little bad just taking all of their stuff. You know, struggling artists and all. Even if they do have a venue.
Gonna kill you!
This again. And off goes the arm. Once again.
Nice tune. Damn sad, though.
Then it successfully conveys my mood. What do you seek here?
Looking for the Puffins. Have I found them?
We've no coin. Leave us be.
Think there's been a mistake.
Sorry. Thought our landlord had hired another thug to collect from us.
Don't want any coin from you. In fact, I'm willing to pay you, provided you agree to get the word out about Madame Marina's new play.
Oh, afraid that's impossible. Ever since we premiered our fateful ballad about
holy Hemmelfart who his faith ignores, gorges himself, diddles old whores, Fatso's gang has been harassing us incessantly.
Fatso's gang?
Common thugs and the church's pay. City's full of gangs like that now.
They threatened Nisa. Said they round off her pointy ears with a carving knife.
They don't let us perform. Chase away spectators, destroy our instruments. Lately they've taken to lurking outside our home. We're at wit's end, no clue what to do.
They harm any of you?
No, not yet. But it's merely a question of time.
Nisa overheard talking about setting fire to something.
All right. Say I get Fatso and his boys to leave you alone. Will you publicize Arena's play then?
Of course! But you shan't find it easy. There's no talking to that lot.
I'm not a great talker anyway.
These swords do a lot of my talking for me. Also, Axie.
Dare you to say it again?
I didn't say nothing.
Not enough he's a heretic, he's also a liar. What'll we do with him?
We bruise his kidneys. Unless he's got something in that pouch.
So you're the ones.
Oi, Fatso, look what we got here. Is it just me, or you got cat eyes?
Right, he does. Stray cat must have fucked his mum.
Now, what you doing in the city of eternal fire, cat shit?
Leave the puffins alone.
Worms that insulted Hierarch Hemmelfart, called him an whoremonger. I'd sooner snuff out the holy flame itself.
Tell them fucking poets to come down here. Shove their fruits up their blaspheming arseholes.
Yeah, to play a different tune then, every time they fought.
Get out of here. Now.
What?
Fuck yeah.
Rumble time! Keep it together, legs!
Could have ended this without bloodshed.
Alright, enough. Damn it, enough.
Now you...
Could have.
Ah, what a sight! You really showed them. 1-2 over the back, then pow, right in the noggin.
I'll finally be able to leave my home without hiding beneath a hood. Thank you very much.
Come on, it was nothing.
Oh, it was something, all right. I don't dare think we've forgotten our promise. We'll strip our voices ragged praising Arena's new play.
How much will I owe you?
Not a copper. Helped us out. See no reason why we shouldn't help you. Get half of town to come to the play. Wait and see.
Some quick preparations and we'll be out in the streets. Till the next.
Gonna need a lot of ushers then. Luckily, that's the next thing on the list. And yeah, I have to say, Fatso's gang is kind of remarkable. Like, a bunch of human thugs who want to live? Amazing.
Got my eye on you, white.
Anyway, we got a ways to go to reach the docks. Might just cut that down a bit. Oh yeah, quite a ways. But here we are now. And if we can find some nice sturdy dock workers.
Good fight. Some nice footwork there.
Challenging me, or is it hell you want to face? A Witcher versus the Beast of Metina. Killer instinct versus primal rage.
You guys really from Nilfgaard?
We's from ploughing Metina, damn it! Not Nilfgaard. Raised by wild hounds on the windswept plains of Magdera. Brothers, forged in bloodshed. Veterans of Metina's infamous filthy arenas. Who dares face the wild men of the South? Who will look the beasts in the eye?
Like to hire you to help out. We're staging a play.
Need us to kick some ass on stage?
Actually want you to usher. Keep the peace. Make sure no one's ass gets kicked, on stage or off.
Got the wrong man. Ass kicking's what we do.
How about a wager? If I beat Hal, you'll come work for me, gratis.
See, Hal's no fan of mummies. Failed romance. Spare you the details. You'll need something special to convince him. Here's an idea. Take us both on, same time. Fight of the century. A witcher against the two-headed dragon of Metin.
What if I lose?
Oh, you'll lose. But we'll still do your little job. You'll just pay us double.
Double or nothing.
Fine. Fight you both.
Cough up the coin first. Lose, and it stays with us.
Double your wages, as promised. But if I win, I get it back.
Now, finish him! Got something special lined up.
So I believe Metina is a reference to a time when Ciri was down south and had been captured by an evil man and forced to fight for the amusement of the people. Those are the arenas that they're talking about. Just gotta watch the second guy keep my distance. Doing a pretty good job of sticking together. Which is why I'm making a point of focusing on one of them. Because unlike so many other brawls, this one is actually very dangerous.
How long you gonna make me wait?
And speaking of references, so is the play. Urcheon is one of the short story subjects. And in fact later turned out to be Emperor Emir.
Well, well. Ain't often you get such a lovely thrashing, eh, Al? Man's speechless, but I can see it on his mug. Bugger likes it. Time we got some rest. We'll guard whatever you want. For free, eh, Al? Your coin? Have it back. And don't fret, we'll get there before any of the dancing starts.
Alright. Got me some ushers for free. Got me some publicists for free. And now it's back to the venue. Tell the lady in charge the good news.
Doppler belongs in a fight.
Hey!
On your way? Or will you stay longer?
Okay, so I don't feel too bad about taking stuff from them. As a matter of fact, they've got quite a few containers around here. And incidentally, the video will end before the play begins, so I'll see you next time.
Ah, there you are.
Managed to hire some ushers.
Wonderful. That's one matter resolved.
Wanted to talk about the text itself.
It's not at all badly written. In fact, I quite like it. I was willing to relax my standards to help Dudu, but we may have something very interesting here. I've very clear ideas who to cast as the servant, the witcher, and the queen, but I'm not certain who should play the prince and the princess.
Who's playing the Witcher?
An amateur. It'll be my first time working with him, but I'm confident he'll pull it off.
Newcomer to the troupe?
In a sense. Oh, stop pretending you don't know. I'm talking about you.
I'm no actor. Might not have noticed, but I'm a little low on emotional expression.
But that's perfect. After all, you're to play the Witcher, not the princess. Besides, you must appear on stage. Dudu must see you. It's the crux of this entire endeavor.
You're right. Just never thought I'd have to do something like this.
You'll be fine, dear. You need only strut on stage, great sword in hand, furl your brow, make some threatening faces, then deliver a few lines in a gravelly voice. Think you can manage?
These performances bring in much coin?
Well, it varies. On good days, the square is barely capable of accommodating everyone. Other times, we're lucky to earn a handful of coppers. Of course, we shall pay you a fee as well. You're a member of the ensemble now.
Thanks. So, about the princess. Small part, but an important one. Any idea who could play her?
Priscilla would be the obvious choice. She's young and beautiful. Yet, I do have more stage experience.
Let's have Priscilla do it. No offense, but most people...
Assign greater importance to appearance than to talent. I understand. I shall let her know. I'm certain she'll be wonderful.
Well, Priscilla was like 16 at the time, so...
So who do you see playing the Doppler Prince?
I'm finding it hard to decide between two candidates. Abelard Ritzer would be the safer bet. He's been part of our troupe for ages, has flawless technique, but he doesn't exactly captivate the crowds.
Who's your other option?
Maxim Bollier, outstanding actor, and audiences love him, but sadly I can never be sure he'll show up sober, or that he'll show up at all.
We got Priscilla for captivating, so...
Let's go with Abelard. I'll take a reliable artisan over an unpredictable artist any day.
Rightly so. The project is risky enough without our casting Maxim.
All right. Got the cast figured out.
It seems so. Prepared to plunge headlong into your career as a mama?
We can start now. Looked over the script out of curiosity. We can start anytime, even now.
Well, we've no time to lose. Come to the stage.
Zoltan, what are you doing here?
Prissy told me you like to putting on a play. Were you playing the lead?
I'm not the lead.
Oh, I thought to myself, I'd sooner shave my beard than miss that. Tell me, Witcher, are you going to wear hose and a codpiece?
Calm, Geralt. You must focus your mind before you go on stage.
Good luck.